would say that was the hardest situation.
Okay.
That was a situation where we wasn't too sure whether, based on how I was operating and where you was going, I was thinking, is this going to last?
Yeah.
I'd say that was the only point where I would say this is like, there's going to have to be a decision made at some point in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it could go either way. So I'd say that was the hardest decision. That was
I would say, yeah, because we've had other situations like losing a baby, but I feel like we were just in it together. I don't feel like there was any divide in that sense. It was together, but in terms of there being a divide, that was definitely the faith.
Losing a baby is something that is very hard for everyone. So, but you're saying that you went through that together, and it feels like you supported each other through that journey, through the loss.
I definitely went through different stages of grief. I felt like I was going through it on my own, but I didn't turn around to Leon and think it's just me going through it. I feel like he could observe what I was going through and supported me in it. And so I would say we went through it together. However, I wouldn't say that he displayed the same stuff as me.
Well, I'd say for me, and I don't know if this is for all men, but for me, I say I didn't have that emotional attachment to the baby. Carrying, I don't have these maternal instincts, and it hadn't gone as far as like feeling kicks and all these sort of stuff. So we've had another two since, but on our next child, I was then more cautious, which I would display that I did feel something. I guess it just wasn't the same as Martina's feelings or her response to it. Right. Therefore, I don't feel like I needed to be consoled. I was there more to help Tina through her grief, rather than helped, because I didn't feel as though I was grieving or
Yes, yeah. And you said before, Martina, that you both felt like you went through that together. You felt that Leon supported you in the right ways at that time.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he gave me the space that I needed and just the time to speak if I wanted to, which wasn't often, to be honest, around that time. And I feel like just by allowing me to have that time and space allowed me to be okay the next time round and the time afterwards. I feel like it was more, I saw his cautiousness the next time round where I wasn't as cautious anymore because I felt like I was kind of dealing with it. That's when I'd see him like, you okay? I don't pick that up type stuff. And I'd be like, oh, okay. But with him being the way he is, I didn't necessarily want to say, I think you're grieving. But yes, but I just kind of was like, okay, he's thinking something. Something's in the back of his head there.
Yeah. You knew it was coming out in a different way. Gosh, that sounds like such a hard journey that you've had, something that you've gone through. You know, miscarriage isn't easy for anyone. And you really, really supported each other through that. Martina, I know that you have a business that you've started for people who have also gone through miscarriage and losing a child. Could you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, Angel Wings Gifts is a business that I started up through having my miscarriage, and it is a gift box that has pampering items in there, but the key element is the book, and the book gives you tools and tips of how to channel through your grief whilst dealing with baby loss. And it's just been an amazing experience, something that I have really enjoyed doing and able to support lots of other women through this time. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's called Angel Wings Gifts.
Brilliant. Did you ask for the specific support that you needed, Martina, or was Leon just doing it, just giving it? Did he know? Was it?
He's that type of character anyway.
Yeah, quite intuitive.
Do one thing, he's doing that plus something else. So his nature is that way inclined. So it wasn't really hard I didn't have to direct anything, to be honest.
It's obviously verbal communication is only a fraction of communication.
Absolutely.
I feel like he could just see my aura. It's not even that I have to even do anything.
Yes.
I could walk in the room and he'd be like, "What's the matter?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't hide.
No.
Now, when Martina's talking, I'm looking at her display more than what she's saying. I'm not really listening to what you're saying.
Time he does have a sixth sense with a lot of people. You do. It's just something that you have where you're just like, the truth isn't fully coming out.
Right. And that works sometimes in relationships, because sometimes, if you've got a partner that can't express their needs or their emotions, and you have a very intuitive partner who can just see it straight away, then it can work. Sometimes mind reading backfires on us though, and we read the wrong thing, and what's wrong, there's nothing wrong, but there is now, because you keep on asking me. So you've got 3 children now, 3 lovely children. Before you had children, was this something that you discussed? Did you talk about your parenting ideas?
Our conversation about children was, we are having children, as much as your body can bear, was my idea. My idea was we're here to populate. Bodies are made to do. So yeah, I was the only child up until 12. I mean, I had my cousin, so I always wanted other siblings. Yeah. So I wanted my house to be that house with children.
I didn't even think about getting married. I was not that way inclined, weirdly. I didn't think about what my dress would look like when I got married, and I definitely didn't think about children. I didn't think about children, weirdly, because when I was 17, the doctor told me that I probably wouldn't have any.
Okay.
I struggled to have some because I had polycystic ovaries, and I remember coming home to my mum and going, "Nobody's going to want to be with me, I can't have children." And I remember telling him that. So I guess in the back of my mind, that was kind of like, okay, you're saying you're going to have children. And I did tell him before we got married, you do realise that they didn't say it's impossible, but they said it might be a challenge. So I guess maybe, for me, I was just all about travelling, going to see the world. That was my type of thing. But I guess in falling in love with Leon and him having that great passion, I guess I didn't really think about my parenting style or what that would even look like, because it's not something that I considered anyway.
Yeah.
Kind of something where it's that, I don't really have a take on it. So I guess we can go, not with as many as my body can bear, but we just go with what we go with and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 3 children later.
Exactly.
Do you clash with your parenting styles now, or do you agree on everything?
I think we clash. We do say this. We clash with the way we go about doing it, not necessarily the kind of
the outcome of what we want to achieve.
Yeah, the outcome we get. So we get that we want to teach them this value or that value, but the method in which we go about it, we dispute about. Like, did you have to do it like that, or couldn't you have done it like that? So we just, because he is an all or nothing person, I'm like, does it have to be so laborious, so intense? Like, to make it fun, like a chore doesn't have to be so boring. But he's just like, no, we need to get this done.
There are clear differences, but you get through it.
Yeah.
I hope you find this series useful. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so that you don't miss any new shows and my therapeutic analysis of each episode.